Whosever idea it was to put Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell in the same superhero movie deserves a raise. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is written and directed by the same man who wrote and directed the first film, James Gunn, and stars Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Karen Gillan, Sylvester Stallone, and Kurt Russell, and tells the story of the Guardians. They're going through adventures, and all of a sudden Star-Lord's dad shows up, which she's never met, and then it shows his relationship and everything that goes on once they finally meet. Every few years, the superhero genre needs a film to come in and give it a shot in the arm to kickstart it and freshen things up, and that was the first Guardians of the Galaxy film. It was funny, the action was fresh and new, with a great director like James Gunn. And with Volume 2, we got pretty much more of the same of what we saw in the first film, which is good and bad at the same time. It's good because it's everything that we loved about the first film. The jokes are hilarious throughout. Baby Groot is adorable and funny. I was worried from the trailers that he was going to be a little annoying and in the film a little too much, but he wasn't. He was perfect. Drax had a lot more funny lines in the first one. I thought he was just an okay character, but Bautista did a great job playing him in this one. And then Chris Pratt as Star-Lord is just a genius. Everything he does is funny. And seeing him work with Kurt Russell was just amazing to watch on screen. And the action is still the fresh, new stuff. Even though the final action scene, it did get a little too CGI and too shaky camera. It's hard to tell what's going on. But that was only the last fight scene. Other than that, all the action set pieces were cool and exciting and fresh. But what is bad is that we don't see the characters change that much throughout the second film. I thought this would have been a great opportunity to develop the characters a little more, but we only see them change minorly by the time the film gets done. And we should have seen some drastic change because there's some big moments that happen. One example in the trailers of Star-Lord meeting his dad, that should have changed his character completely. But at the end of the film, he's kind of the same with just a few minor changes here or there. And this is due to the script for Volume 2 is not as cleanly written as the script for the first Guardians film. I feel like James Gunn directed Volume 2 better than he did Volume 1, but the script just wasn't all there. There's some very harsh tonal changes that come out of nowhere. We're going from laughing to very dramatic in a matter of seconds, and I felt the scenes were too drawn out, the action scenes from one to another with too much exposition in the middle that we weren't getting enough action to keep things moving, and it kind of slowed down a little too much for my liking. But one character that was perfectly developed throughout the film was Yondu, played by Michael Rooker. He went to places I didn't think they would go with a character that was more of a side one in the first one. He's a main part of this film, and he has some great scenes, funny scenes and emotional scenes that well, and Michael Rooker did a great job playing those. But honestly, the hardest job Volume 2 had was following up that amazing soundtrack from the first film, and they passed with flying colors. There's so many great 80s hits on this soundtrack, and there are hints to what's coming in the next film. I can't wait. Whoever is putting together this track list should just be hired for every film because he or she is a master at putting together a great soundtrack. In the Stan Lee cameo, if it's not just a troll by Marvel Studios, which I think it might be where they're just playing a joke on fans that look way too much into things, but if it's true, it has some huge consequences on the Marvel Universe, so just look out for that. But I think it might just be Marvel Studios just playing a joke on the super attentive super fans. So in the end, my final verdict for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is it was good. While not as groundbreaking as the first film, it's still a fun action ride with amazing kick-ass music and some fun action set pieces and hilarious jokes that you're going to be laughing at throughout. It's these characters that we love, and it was just enjoyable to see them on screen again. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Drew from How Was It Movies. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see some more videos from me. Comment down below if you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and what's your thoughts on it, and thanks for watching.